Hello all my friends, welcome back to lamascreationsdiy. My name is Tammy. It's been a while, so let's get on to it. Let's start crafting. First, we're starting out with an old frame that I had used for a previous project like long time ago. We're going to take it all apart as best as we can. You can use any kind of frame. We're going to clean it all up, take out that glass, and then we're going to paint the frame with this nautical blue. I give it 2 really good coats. Then there's this, I have this piece of foam board. We're going to give this a good coat of sheepskin. I printed this image wording off of the computer. What I'm going to do is cut as close as I can down to the image, just so I can place it better on top of my foam board. Our foam board. I don't know what you call it. We're going to tape it down into place, slide under a piece of carbon paper, and with a pencil or a pen, we're going to trace over the image. This will then transfer the image onto my board, and then this way I can either color it in or paint it in or whichever way I want. You can use a Cricut, you can freehand it, you can do it any which way you like. I prefer this method. It makes it look a little more homemade and, I don't know, unique. Taking the paper off and the carbon paper out, we've got our image. I know it's been a while since I've been on. I've been working on a few crafts here and there, and I decided, well, let's put some together. We've got some Christmas and winter ones, and I have some that I just threw in there for the fun of it. Now, taking some different paint markers, I'm going to go over all of the words and the drawings that I just traced onto there with the carbon paper and fill it all in. I've missed everybody. I've missed crafting and putting out my videos for you guys. I just received in my email that YouTube is about to disable my account. A good thing I had these on the go. I figure I better start getting them out of there. Now, taking the frame that it's all dry, we're going to go around the edge with some hot glue and then put our foam board right in there, nice and snug. I have these Snowflake stamps. Just using some paint, I'm going to paint on top of the snowflake, and we're going to put a couple onto our board. It's been a while since I've done a voiceover. You could tell I'm having issues talking. That's nothing new for me. Next, using some spray adhesive, I'm going to spray it all around the back of the frame, flip it over onto some craft paper. With my scissors, I'm going to cut as close as I can to the frame, and then with some sandpaper and in a downward motion, I'm going to sand all the extra off. This gives me a nice smooth cut along the edge, so it looks all nice and pretty. I found this silver ribbon. It's kind of see-through in the middle. We're going to measure out as a piece for a bow. Holy jeez! And then we measure out another one for the tails. Taking this smaller grosgrain ribbon, we're going to shape the first piece into 2 loops, tie it in the middle with the ribbon. Then we're going to take the tails, place them in the middle, and tie those onto there as well. Fluff our bow, move the tails around, figure out where we want it, and glue it down with some hot glue. I have these little frosted, I guess they're supposed to be like snowballs. I put a little in the middle of that bow. We're going to take some jute twine, tie a knot in one end, staple it to the side with some hot glue, trim off any extra, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And here it is. Frosty Snowflake Cafe, hot cocoa and cookies served with love. I love it. Next craft. These here 2 frames, I believe they came from my sister. They were already all taped around for painting, so all I had to do is this little silver frame in the middle is pop those off, and they came off so easy. They left some residue behind, but we'll get to that. Then with my wood tint from Home Decor, we're going to paint it on like paint all around the frame. This here, what it makes it look like, it ends up looking like wood. Looks really nice. I love it. And I do that to both frames. In case you didn't know how to do it, I'm going to show you an extra little longer. I'm just using a chippy brush, an old brush, and just painting it on. Now we're going to remove all that tape, which was already there for me, which was pretty neat. I didn't have to tape myself. I'm just using a scraper tool there and getting it all off. With some cleaner, I'm going to spray it down onto the front, and I let it sit for a bit. And then again with my scraper, we're going to scrape all that goo off. There was goo on the front and goo on the back, so we had to do both sides. It came off pretty easy. As long as you let it sit for a bit to soak in, it comes off pretty easy. And then of course, after all the goo is off, you clean it all up, make it all shiny and pretty. I don't know what I'm doing there. I think I was taking glue out of my fingers. With a paint marker, I am going to write in some words that I cannot see, but we will end up seeing them in a bit. This here paint marker was just so I can get it all on there. And then with another paint marker, we're going to write over it again. And what it says is, some people are worth melting for. Now we're just going to draw on some sticks and a scarf. And we're going to draw on a hat. And my editing skills have gone downhill because I really wanted to show you how to color in a hat. Alright, now flipping it over, we're going to add in some of these little small styrofoam balls. Little tiny itty bitty styrofoam balls. And then I also add in some fake snow in there, just to give it that little extra little bit of glitter. We're going to make sure those two go together nicely. And then taking some E6000, we're going to add mostly the E6000 all in different spots. And the spots where I didn't put any E6000, we're going to put some hot glue. Hot glue is so that I can continue working, and the E6000 is for that forever hold. Squish the two together, and I did set it aside with something heavy on it. Taking this pretty red ribbon, we're going to, on the bottom, start in the middle, and hot glue where the two frames meet. We're going to put that all over on top of that, so it hides it. Finishes it up, makes it a little more nicer, more finished. Using the same ribbon, we're going to make a small little bow. Tie it in the middle with some jute rope or twine. Cut off any extra and glue that on top. And this one's done. I love it. I had so much fun making this one, and it was so easy to do. Just a fast little craft, just for something on your shelf, or you can stick it on a tier tray. I love it. Hope you do too. Next craft. We are taking some clay. Always fun working with clay. Rolling it into a ball, and then we're going to flatten it out. And flatten it out, and flatten it out, and flatten it out. And I'm using those wine glasses to make sure that it's big enough, because that's going to be a part of the project. Taking the wine glass, I'm going to squish it down in there, and then we let it dry. And I make 3 of these with 3 different wine glasses. Now, taking these wine glasses, 2 are fallish, and 1 is just a plain one. And I really, wow, watch me pick off the glue off of my nails. Of course, I clean them all on the inside and the out. we're going to paint, I think I painted 2 red and 1 with sheepskin. And this is all home decor chalk paint by Folk Art. Now I'm going to take the same 2 colors of paint and paint our little rounds that are finally somewhat dry. They're not completely dry. I didn't want them to get too dry because then they start cracking and stuff. So I painted them while they were still somewhat wet. I painted 2 with the sheepskin and 1 with the red. Taking some acrylic, I think it's called gold spun paint. I am just going to freehand on some designs. You can really do whatever you want. I did swirlies and like circle thingies. And I did it on all 3 of the wine glasses. And you can do whatever you want. I was just going with what I felt like. I'm also going to take that same gold paint and outline all of those little thingies on the bottom. And then we're going to Mod Podge everything. Make sure that paint stays. After they're all Mod Podge, we're going to take again some E6000 and some hot glue, and we're going to glue the top of the wine glass down onto that clay thing we made. Now it's time to decorate them. You can use whatever you want. This is what I had on stash and was feeling for. I used some greenery picks that I got from Amazon. You can get a big bundle of them for a fairly good price. I used little red berries and little poinsettias, pine cones, gold stuff. I just went about and kept decorating them until I was happy with it. And that's basically all you have to do, is go with the colors that you like and the colors that your decor is into, and just decorate it the much as you can or the most that you can, and however you like it. I added some shiny ribbon to the bottom with some little bows, and here they are. Pretty candle holders. You could put candy dishes on top and use it as put a candle in that, and that would be really pretty, or have some little candies in it. I love them. I love them, love them, love them. Next craft. This is a signboard I think I got from Dollar Tree a long time ago. We're going to peel off all that paper the best we can. It came off fairly easy. And then I'm not using that side, I'm using the other side. We're going to paint it with sheepskin, and I'm going to add in some of that gray to it. I cannot remember the name of the gray, but it's gray. It's very light gray. It's actually my first color of paint that I ever got as a chalk paint. And then I got suckered in and I liked it, and I bought more colors. And just using a big brush, we're just going to paint the entire board. And again, apparently, you need to know how to paint. And what the gray does is it just lightens it up and gives it a little bit of a not so bright of a look. This here, I believe, was a placemat. I'm just going to take a white oil pencil, I guess it's called. I'm tracing out a hat, which I didn't like, so I redrew. And then we're going to cut it out. Excuse me. There's little edging on this placemat. So what I did is I trimmed all the edging off, and so I could finish up this hat, I glued it all along the edge because there's like a gap in the middle and it looked really weird. And I wanted to finish it off. So I used that edging and just trimmed it all off and made it all look pretty. I printed this wording offline, and what I did is I put it down over top of the carbon paper, traced over it with my pen, and that transferred the image onto the board. With some paint markers, I'm going to trace over the wording that we just transferred onto the board. And this is actually, I think, how slow I go or how fast I go. I don't know. Now that that's done, we're going to take the hat, add some hot glue to it. Look at the steam coming off of that. That's pretty cool. And we're going to glue it into place onto our board. Just right there. We're going to draw on our nose for our snowman. Give him some pretty little eyes. And a mouth. And then using this is a handkerchief or something like that. We're going to glue those down. I just had 2 little pieces down to make it his scarf. Using some buffalo check ribbon, we're going to measure it out to make a bow. Adding hot glue to one end, I'm going to glue the other end to it. Folding it in half, finding the middle, and scrunching it in the middle. And then we're going to measure out another piece, scrunch that in the middle, put it to the back of the bow, tie it together with some jute rope, cut off any extra, move those tails around, fluff the bow, glue it right in the middle. I'm going to use the same string that it came with the board to hang it, and I also dovetailed the ends. I love this sign too. It was easy to make as well. Next craft. This here was from Dollarama. I don't know if it was this Halloween or last Halloween that I got it up, that I picked it up. We're going to remove the hanger, remove the sticker on the back, and remove any paper on the front that is like sticking out because it kind of sticks over the edge. I don't like that. So I just use with my sandpaper, bring it all up and I remove as much as I can. I was happy this one wasn't glittery. A lot of signs come that are glittery. We're going to paint the board in this brown Java paint. Now using the chalk method, I'm going to color with the chalk on the back of this wording that I printed off or made on Word. And then again, I'm going to draw over it with a pencil or a pen. You can use a Cricut. You can freehand it, whichever way you want. This is another way of transferring your image onto your project if it's too dark for the transfer paper, the carbon paper. Then with a white paint marker, we're going to go over what we just transferred onto our image, or no, onto our board. Maybe by the end of the video, I'll have my words proper. I doubt that. Now with some hot glue and some jute rope, we're going to hot glue the rope all around the edge of the sign just to finish it off. Give it a little more of a professional look. And then I do it again on top, so I do it twice around. So how has everybody been? It's been a long time since I've posted. I think it's been about 4 or 5 months. I do apologize. It's hard getting out to the craft room and getting stuff done. This here one that we're working on has been done for a couple months, but getting other stuff done to go along with the video, it's a process. I only have like 1 or 2 days a week, sometimes only 1, sometimes none, to get out there and work, but I hope you guys enjoy these. I truly think of you guys when I'm making them. We're going to add a hanger to the back of our sign. And this one is done. This is a self-cleaning kitchen. Clean up after yourself. Next craft. This here is a sample door board for your cupboards. We're going to take off that little sticker. And then I'm going to add some tape to the back, because then we're going to flip it over and add hot glue to those little holes so that they are filled in. You can use wood putty or anything like that. I just didn't have the patience to wait for it to dry. Like I said, I don't get out there much, so having to wait for things to dry, it's not fun. We're going to give it 2 coats of this sheepskin home decor chalk paint. And then I took Java and I dry brushed all around the edges with this chippy brush and on top and all the way around. For some reason, I was not recording. I drew these letters out myself. I just created it myself on some paper with a popsicle stick. I'm going to trace over it so it transfers the image. And then with a paint marker, I'm going to go over what we just transferred onto there. And like I said before, you can freehand this, which I did, but I don't trust myself to freehand right on my project. You can use a Cricut. You can use anything you want. I found this burlap in my stash. I was so happy I still had it. We're going to measure out a piece, hot glue down one side. Careful, make sure you use something to tap it down with because you don't want to burn yourself. We're going to leave a little bit up and then hot glue down the other side. But you don't want it tight. You want a little bit of a gap there. We're going to trim off any extra because I had a really long piece. But then we're going to double it up because I didn't like how see-through it was. So we basically do the same thing. Hot glue it to one side, hot glue it to the other side. And again, you don't want it too tight. And then we flip it over, take off that tape, and we're going to hot glue it and secure it all on the back. Trimming as you go if you have too much back there, making it all nice and pretty. Measuring out where I could find my setter, because while we're back there, we're going to put in our hanger. And I'm using one of these little D-hook hangers, just because it's a heavier board. Anything else, I'm afraid it would fall off. Taking some styrofoam, and between a knife and my ruler, I got a piece cut out. We're going to shove that down into the front. And before we add anything, I'm going to add on some ribbon. I got this pretty white and red ribbon with snowflakes on it. I really like it. It's pretty. And then we're just going to start filling it in with floral picks and greenery picks and whatever picks that you have or whatever you would like to fill in. I have some berries and some greenery. Some of the stuff I got from Dollarama, some from Amazon, some from... I could have gotten some from Dollar Tree. It's been a while since I've been to Dollar Tree, so I don't really remember. But you're just going to fill it in as much as you want. Make it as full as you want, as sparse as you want. Whatever you like. Gotta add some white in there. Oh, don't forget about the gold. Need some shimmery. We're going to make a small little bow just by cutting off a piece, gluing the ends together, scrunching it in the middle, and again cutting off a tail. I dovetailed the ends. We're just going to join them together. Tie them with some jute rope or jute string, whichever you want to call it. And we're going to glue it. We're going to glue it right to the front. We're going to glue it to the front. Fluff the bows. And then this is kind of funny. I hot glued this thing right on there, right? And then I take my clippers and I clip off that, and I clip off that, and I clip off that, and I clip it all off. And then I put some hot glue and put the pine cone on. Nothing else. Everything else was too much. Just a pine cone. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I have it hanging at work beside my desk. These here came from Globeland, I believe is what they're called. I'm going to take, I never showed you, but I painted the entire thing in a dark gray. And then I'm going to take this little stencil, tape off where I don't want, and then with, I can't remember what color, we're going to stencil it on just with a makeup brush. And I'm just using that one corner, and I did it on all 4 corners. Then we're going to take this flower, and we're going to paint those the same colors too. They're wood cutout flowers. What this first started out as is a mirror. I have this black felt, it's like velvety, and it's sticky on the back, but to be sure that it sticks, I add a little bit of hot glue on the ends just to make sure that it stays down. I put that all over the back, and then with some E6000 and some hot glue, we're going to add the flowers to the ends. These here were little white knobs that I painted with the same color, and again using E6000 and hot glue, we're going to add those to the top. We're going to Mod Podge the entire thing, and then we get to take off the tape, and you'll see that it's a mirror underneath. I don't know where the footage went to the first part of this, but I'm sure you guys know how to tape a mirror in paint. I just don't remember the color of the name. It was a dark gray. Clean the mirror, and then I have these 3 little votive jars that I'm cleaning up before putting them on there. And then I picked these up. Those are from Dollar Tree. Little succulents. They're going to go 1 in each of them. Or you could take one of these little fish bowls and add your succulents in there. Or you can use it with candles. And just like that, this project is done. I made this one in the summer, I think. That's how long ago it was. I would like to thank everybody for watching. I truly appreciate it. Please like this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, comment below, share it, do all that fun stuff so YouTube doesn't disable my account, please. I hope everybody has a wonderful day and a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you again next time, hopefully sooner than later. Bye everyone.